From Eyewitness News, this is Newsbreak.
Good evening, I'm Patrice King-Brown. There was a memorial service held today for the sailors from the USS Saratoga. We'll talk with the Braddock family who lost a member in that accident. And a Westmoreland County man who was held hostage in Kuwait returns to his parents' home for the holidays. Power outages throughout the area due to last night's storm, but Duquesne Light is working to restore power everywhere. We'll have highlights of the Steeler victory and a cold weather forecast on Eyewitness News tonight.
Tickets for the 1991 Westinghouse Family House Invitational are the perfect holiday gift. Call 1-800-228-3430 and order for your favorite golfer today.
The Steelers win big at Three Rivers. The story on Eyewitness News tonight.
With a little love.
Every year, we turn to you for help. And every year, you open your hearts to the kids at Children's.
So remember to send your generous pledges to the Children's Hospital Free Care Fund. P.O. Box KDKA, Pittsburgh, PA 15230.
Your check will help ensure that critical medical care is available to all kids in KD country.
So from all the little ones at Children's, thanks and have a wonderful new year.
The first news of the day condensed into 4 15-minute blocks.
I don't think people have a lot of time in the morning to sit down and watch news.
15 minutes designed to get you on your way.
Everyone will get to know a little bit about what's going on before they leave the house.
15 minutes with weather for the day ahead.
Well, I think people want to know in the morning, the first thing is what the weather is going to be like for today so they know how to dress. We'll give you that right off the top.
Eyewitness News this morning. 15.
Well, at least it's mild and rainy and not cold.
That's right. Cynthia was mentioning in her story that a lot of people are traveling. What kind of weather do we have to travel in?
You know, it's kind of funny, but the last couple of years now, we've had mild stretches of weather right around Thanksgiving. It's going to happen again this year, although we'll have plenty of clouds around. There are going to be a few showers around tomorrow, but Thanksgiving Day not looking too bad. Right now, we have cloudy skies over us, and it has stopped raining for the moment, although 5 minutes ago it still was here on the north side. 50 degrees, that's just downright balmy. 49 for the high, and we'll go partly sunny Friday, 52. Showers possible for Saturday and Sunday, 52 Saturday and 46 on Sunday. So yes, Mike and Edie, the possibility is there for some raindrops to fall on us on the big Celebrate the Season parade
It better
Saturday
not.
morning.
It better not. Mike just informed me if it rains, he's not showing up. I've got news for you, buddy.
Come on, Mike, tough it out.
She'll buy anything, you know? Thank you, Dennis.
Okay.
Well, it's time now to take a look at the lottery numbers. The winning number Tuesday in the Pennsylvania Daily number game was 329. In the Big Four game, the winner was 7737. You see, the folks at Philip Morris say that the Pope likes to light up now and then, and that Marlboro is his favorite brand. A spokesman at the Vatican says that claim is ridiculous, saying no one in Rome has ever seen John Paul smoke, and that spokesman adds, why would a Polish Pope in Rome, Italy, smoke American cigarettes? And only the pontiff knows that one for sure.
See, we told you that you were not going to believe it. Right?
Wildest things come up.
Strange. That's Night Beat for Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Dela Cruz has the first news of the day tomorrow morning at 6:30 on Starting Today.
The Tonight Show is next. Have a good night.
Good night, folks.
Good evening. It's nice to stand here atop Television Hill and see a nice break in this cloud cover for a change. You know, that can kind of get you down to see that overcast for so long. Despite all the clouds, just 1/100 of an inch of rain today, 0.03 in our gauge here at Television Hill. And we'll update you on the rain. For the month so far, an inch 0.76. That's just a little over the norm for this point of the going. And for the year, a normal amount, well, we have 25.18 so far, and the normal is, look at that, 30.59. So we got a ways to go to get the moisture levels back up in the greater Pittsburgh area. Right now, here's the situation. We're looking at 59 degrees after a high of 60, a low this morning of 49. And as we mentioned, 1/100 of an inch of rain. Normal high is 60 and the normal low is 40, so we really didn't do so poorly where those temperatures are concerned. Looking at the big satellite photo, a cold front with some clouds going across into the southern plains. 5 inches of rain across southern and eastern Texas today, and some flash flood advisories have been posted there. A big stormy situation out in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington, with a number of lightning strikes today and some hailstorms. Very high winds, snows in the Cascades of Washington and Oregon, while here we just have some clouds floating around a good deal of Pennsylvania, but they're clearing out nicely in Ohio and in West Virginia, and of course right over greater Pittsburgh, some clearing taking place. Nothing on the radar as far as precipitation is concerned, but for just an isolated light blip there to the west and to the north of Johnstown, PA. Now on the map, here's what we got. Another cold front that we're watching the advance of over the next few days. It's this one right here, spreading some good snows, a foot or more likely out there through Montana and Wyoming again. Now this thing is going to be passing through the greater Pittsburgh area about Thursday evening, the way we would guess, and so we're going to hold out the possibility of a passing sprinkle or two late in the day Thursday as a result. In the meantime, this high is kind of circulating some moisture in from the Atlantic, and so we figure to get a lot of clouds hanging around for a while. 59 degrees, easterlies at 6, 74% humidity, and the pressure 30.17 and steady. AccuWeather forecast says, well, it'll be mostly cloudy around the area tonight. A few patches of fog, low 51. Tomorrow, it's clouds and sun, emphasis on the clouds again, I'm afraid, but warmer, the high 68. And tomorrow night, partly cloudy with the low near the double nickels. In our 5-day forecast, clouds and sun intervals there through Friday, partly sunny for Saturday and Sunday, and very mild for the season on through Friday, and mid-60s weather, as you can see, for Saturday and Sunday. Really, that doesn't look too bad, but again, some passing showers are possible late Thursday. That's it from the Hill. Let's go back to Mike and Roxanne.
Okay, don't you let it get you down, Dennis.
I never would do that.
Okay.
He's not the kind.
No.
Believe me. As of a couple of minutes ago, we have another traffic headache to deal with. As of this evening, 7th Avenue traffic is now being shifted from the north side of the street to the south side of the street, and that means a single lane in each direction. That's so the workers can reconstruct the intersection at 7th and Grant. The new traffic pattern will be in effect for about 2 months, tying things up.
Beautiful Mount Washington, South Park, and Cashville Shannon are all stops in today's edition of Newsreel. What a day for a party. Thousands turned out for Mount Washington's Fall Festival. Sidewalk sales and entertainment were just part of the fun. Everything from a mink coat to toy gremlins were on sale at the 25 Club's Sale in the Park. All proceeds from the 8th annual fundraiser go to McGee Women's Hospital Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Keystone Oaks High School was the launching point for a bike-a-thon sponsored by the Castle Shannon Rotary. Proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. If you would like the Newsreel cameras to visit your event, write Newsreel, Post Office Box 1100, Pittsburgh, 15230.
Just ahead on Channel 11 News, warnings of a new Soviet missile.
And Chrysler and the UAW are still at the table. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, the candidates are many, but as of now, the Pirates have yet to hire either a new general manager or a new field manager. This may be the week of decision, however, as Pirate President Mac Prine and acting GM Joel Brown are in St. Louis, where all the action is. So, too, is our Jim Brinson, who is live via satellite tonight from Busch Stadium with the very latest. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, and hello, everybody. We are here, live, here at the World Series, and of course, I've got Joel Brown, who happens to be chatting right over here. Is he over this way? Here he is. He's talking to Bobby Hertzl. You snuck around from behind on me, buddy. I suppose the biggest thing that everybody wants to know is, can you hire a general manager and a field manager while you're here at the series?
We can, we won't.
You can and you will not.
No, we've got appointments with some people after the series is over, at least after it ends here. And I think it'd be unfair for us to make appointments with people that we really think are legitimate candidates and not give them the opportunity to talk with us and us to talk with them.
Here at the series itself, how many people do you think you'll speak with as far as the GM and the field manager spot?
We spoke with quite a few in Pittsburgh last week. I would say before we go home, we'll talk with something between 12 and 15.
For Joel Brown, has this been maybe one of the most exciting or maybe the most tumultuous years that you can remember?
I'd say it was satisfying, primarily because the way our club finished, the excitement and the aggressiveness that our young club brought to Pittsburgh, and I think the promise for the future. I'm pleased with our kids, and I think they're going to be very good very soon.
Some of the names that have been kind of best bantered about here have been the names of Jim Fregosi, Joe Torre, Russ Nixon, and maybe a few others, but you yourself say that you really don't want to mention names until you really decide on somebody.
Well, I think there are two basic reasons for that. One is that other teams are looking for managers too. We don't want them to take somebody that we have deep interest in. Secondly, I don't think it adds stature to a man to publicize the fact that you've interviewed him and then you don't hire him. I think all in all, it's just best that we do it quietly and effectively and quickly as we can, but primarily that we pick the right men.
But no decision until you interview the people next week back in Pittsburgh.
Well, the end of this week and early next week, yes.
Okay. All right, Joel Brown, of course, the GM right now for the Pittsburgh Pirates, here live at the World Series at Busch Stadium. Jim Brinson, Channel 11 Sports. Sam, back to you.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you very much. There is no doubt, as you can see, that St. Louis is where baseball is making news. Earlier today, the Atlanta Braves confirmed our report of last night by hiring Toronto manager Bobby Cox as general manager. It was believed that Ted Turner's first choice as manager was Cox, and so he ends up getting both his first and second choices, Cox and Chuck Tanner. It won't become official until tomorrow, but Pirate right-hander Rick Russell has been named the National League Comeback Player of the Year. The 36-year-old Russell was recalled from Hawaii in late May and went on to post a record of 14-8 with the fourth best ERA in the National League, 2.27. Steelers had to make a couple of personnel moves today because of hamstring and knee injuries. Keith Gary has been placed on injured reserve. To replace him on the roster, the Steelers signed defensive back John Swain, who was recently cut by Miami and was last seen pushing Lewis Lips into Biscayne Bay on this blatant interference call earlier this season in the Steelers' loss to the Miami Dolphins. Attempting to deal completely above board, West Virginia today requested from the University of Pittsburgh a formal release for running backs A.B. Brown and Eugene Napoleon, both of whom have left Pitt with the intention of transferring. Brown has made it perfectly clear he'd love to enroll at West Virginia, and no one in Morgantown is denying that he will not end up there. In the meantime, head coach Don Nehlen has other things on his mind, like second-ranked Penn State, whom he meets on Saturday.
You know, Dozier's the great runner. Schaefer can throw the ball, and the difference in this Penn State team and the teams they've had in the past is the fact that they have super speed at the wideouts, and they can burn you at any time. So it's going to be a very difficult ball game, but it's at least one that we're looking forward to playing.
And in Joe Brown's great words, I can, but I won't. I can, but I won't. That means there are a lot of people around looking for jobs, right?
Yeah. You're going to give us a prediction tonight on the
baseball game? I picked the Cardinals to win the series. I rest on my laurels. They're up 2-0.
Are they going to sweep it?
I refuse to come.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. We'll see you later on. Let's go upstairs.
It's been a pretty dreary Tuesday, too. Let's clear it up, Dennis.
Well, we're working very hard at that. You know, it's been kind of one of those days where you get a little of this and a little of that. Take a look at our friends on the west side have the gosh awfulest sky you ever saw out that way. But you don't have to look very far across the city to the south and to the east to see a gorgeous sky. And that kind of typifies how the forecast is going to go, which we'll have for you in just a moment.
Yeah, I was down at the baseball game earlier. Buccos won. We have some pretty good weather for you coming up over the next couple of days. Currently out at the airport, we have clear skies and 56 degrees. High today was 69, 55 was the low this morning. You can see how that compares to the normal. We're going to be above normal for a change for the next couple of days. High tomorrow about 79 degrees. On the satellite photo, we can see where the weather is. We have generally clear skies here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Light cloud cover just to the north of us, also to the west of us in eastern Ohio. There is some rain over there in the Great Lakes extending down into Indiana. We're expecting the stuff in Indiana to dissipate, and this stuff up here in the Great Lakes as it moves toward the east should stay to the north of Pittsburgh. There's a very slight chance of maybe a shower or two in the Pittsburgh area tomorrow morning, but we don't expect that to happen. It should stay to the north up around Lake Erie. Here's where the radar is. We can see it on the radar summary. Light showers to the east on the east coast, stormy down in parts of Florida, and there's some rain up there in the Great Lakes extending down into Indiana. This stuff should dissipate, this stuff staying north of Pittsburgh as it moves toward the east. Let's find out what the weather's going to be doing over the next couple of days. On the national map, cool front to the east of us, high pressure system here, giving us periods of sunshine tomorrow and Monday, warm front moving up through the neighborhood, so that during the day tomorrow, we're going to have that cool front extending into the Great Lakes. Warm front will have passed through by tomorrow afternoon, keeping the rain to the north of us, we suspect. And down in the southeast, a high-pressure system is going to be setting up, circulation around it, bringing up warm air into southwestern Pennsylvania, making a high tomorrow about 79 degrees. This front, the cool front, eventually is going to be extending through southwestern Pennsylvania, giving us a chance of rain on Tuesday night, and it looks like Wednesday is going to be a rainy day, periods of rain anyway. Forecast highs for tomorrow, expecting 79 degrees at the airport. It's going to be nice, cool, and comfortable in the north-central part of the nation, in the northeast. 79 at the airport, warmer downtown, in the 80s down here. In the extreme south and in the south-central part of the United States, it's going to be in the 90s. Currently, it's comfortable outside, cooling off, in fact, out at the airport, 56 degrees. Winds are calm, humidity 77%, and the barometer steady at 30.10. Forecast is calling for mostly clear skies tonight. On the chilly side with a low near 50 degrees, and tomorrow's going to be okay. Partly sunny, a little bit warmer with a high near 79. And then on Monday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, pretty decent day with a high of 82. The extended forecast says Tuesday, partly sunny, high of 82. Might have some rain starting Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, periods of rain, some showers around with a high of about 77 degrees. So generally good weather coming right through Tuesday.
All right, thank you very much. And Randy has all the football news next, and baseball.
Penn State didn't make enough big plays. West Virginia did, and so did the Pirates tonight at the stadium. We'll take a look at all of that when we come back.
Everyone knows quality food costs a pretty penny these days, and watching it add up can be quite an experience. When your trip to the market becomes a major investment, be sure you remember to protect it. Get Reynolds Wrap and Reynolds Plastic Wrap. Quality food protection that only costs about a penny a foot more than so-called bargain wraps. That makes Reynolds the real bargain, doesn't it?
You better head in. Yeah, sure could use some coffee. Yeah. Thanks. Terrific coffee. Yeah, what kind is it?
Master Blend.
Is that supposed to cost less?
Uh-huh. It only tastes expensive.
Master Blend, a delicious blend of beans we roast and grind a special way so you can save money. Master Blend, it only tastes expensive.
Pittsburgh's 11, be there.
You can see anything you want to see there.
You can be anything you want to be there. You'll fly high there, WPXI there, but you've got to be there. Yeah, you can get your news there, learn new views there. What Pittsburgh wants to know, PXI's the place to go. Pittsburgh's 11, be there. You've got to be there, yeah, all day and all night there. It's all right there. When the Steelers go for 5, you can catch the action live. It'll be you and me there. See what you want to see there. Pittsburgh's 11, be there. It'll be you and me there. Got to cover Pittsburgh. See what you want to see there. Pittsburgh's 11, be there.
Pirates and the Phillies sharing top spot.
You win 6 in a row, you think you might be there by yourself. Not now. They are sharing it with the Phillies. The Pirates have been a team that has been playing in streaks this year, both good and bad. The latest good one reached 6 games tonight. It took them 13 innings to do it, but they beat the Expos 5-4 on Dale Barrow's 2-out double in the 13th inning at the stadium. Let's see how it happened. Montreal 5th. Expos already leading, and Gary Carter doubles. That scores Andre Dawson. When he crosses the plate, that makes it 4-1. Montreal on top. Didn't look good for Lee Tunnell and company. Off Steve Rogers here. Doug Frobel, a double, scores Richie Hebner. That makes it 4-2. Expos lead cut to 2 runs. Now in the 7th inning, 4-3, Hebner on third. Marvell Wynn hits a high chopper. He has to get it cleanly, and he doesn't. Couldn't get Marvell. That tied the ball game up 4-4. Montreal ninth, first and second, 2 out. A shot back through the middle, and Tekulve's glove happened to be in the right spot. Better be on your knees there, Teak. 13th inning here, first and second, 2 out. And Berra's double up the gap scores Brian Harper. The Pirates, with that run, win at 5-4, and they needed it to stay tied with the Phillies because Philadelphia beat St. Louis. Expos 2.5 back, Cards 4.5 back. John Denny got win number 16. San Diego beat Atlanta 2-1 with the help of Gary Templeton's 2-run triple. So the Dodgers' loss to San Francisco doesn't cost them any ground in the West. In the American League, Detroit's chances of catching Baltimore farther and farther away because they lost to Boston and Baltimore beat Milwaukee 5-4. In the West, Chicago and Seattle, the White Sox running away. They've already clinched the West and they beat Seattle 4-3. Well, this may be remembered as the day Penn State found a quarterback, but Nittany Lion fans would like to forget the fact they lost the ballgame. Doug Strang threw for 3 touchdowns, but Chuck Long of Iowa passed for 2 scores and also 345 yards in the 42-34 win at State College this afternoon. Let's take a look. 1,079 total yards by the 2 teams, 9 of them there. Dean DeMidio, the touchdown pass from Strang, 7-0 Penn State. This catch by Kenny Jackson tied it 14 all in the second quarter. Great catch by the All-American. Chuck Long, the Iowa quarterback, hit right here by Harry Hamilton. As he falls and rolls over, he fumbles the ball, and Joe Hines recovers for Penn State. The 48-yard drive ended with the sneak from Strang. 21-14 Penn State at halftime. Third quarter, Strang to a freshman. DJ Dozier catches the ball, but afterwards he fumbles it away. Iowa recovers. 3rd and goal at the 27. It looked like the play was over there, but Long somehow got away. Touchdown pass to Eddie Phillips, 21 all. Strang comes back. Scoring strike to Kevin Bow, 28-21 Penn State. It's 28 all when Strang hit here, fumbles the ball away. Iowa recovers, and they go on to score the eventual winning touchdown. Norm Granger, 23 yards, and never trailed after that. And Joe Paterno has one good reason for Penn State's 3rd straight loss.
And lousy tackling by Penn State. That's as poor a tackling football team as I've ever been associated with. And that's not to take anything away from the Iowa backs, but we just didn't get the job done on defense. You're going to get some turnovers. Play young people, you got to expect them to make a mistake once in a while.
I can't even make an excuse. I don't want to take nothing away from Iowa. They're a good football team. But we should have stopped them, and we didn't. And the reasons, I wish someone could help us and tell us, and we can't find it.
Let's take a look at West Virginia at Maryland tonight. Jeff Hostetler intercepted by Clarence Baldwin. First interception thrown by Hostetler this year. It also set up the game's first score. Boomer Esiason escapes the West Virginia rush. He finds Greg Hill right there in the corner of the end zone. Maryland led 7-0, 10-3 Maryland. When West Virginia turned the table second quarter, Tim Agee intercepts Esiason. Nice return back to the Maryland 20. And only 2 plays later, it's Ron Wolfley on the short dive. This one tied the score right before halftime, 10 all. In the second half, it was all West Virginia. They won it 31-21. Tom Gray on a 17-yard run here. He was supposedly injured before this game. Didn't look like he was hurting there. Watch the catch by Rob Bennett. Not a bad catch. An even better run. Maryland tacklers took some lessons from Penn State today, evidently. He goes all the way, 24-10 with that score, 31-21 final there. Number 3, Texas, visited number 4, Auburn today. The pollsters better separate them some more because there was a big gap on the field. Kelvin Epps, the pass, 80-yard score. The Longhorns were easy winners over the Auburn Tigers. And a minor surprise out in Norman, Oklahoma. Ohio State's Mike Tomczak hits John Frank, the tight end from Mount Lebanon, over a couple of Oklahoma defenders on his way to the end zone. Oklahoma doing here what they've done a lot over the past few years, fumbling. Marcus Dupree kicks it away, and Roland Tatum recovers at the 15-yard line. Next play, same combination. Tomczak, the quarterback, to Frank, the tight end, and again, he somehow finds the end zone from about 9 yards out after he caught it. The Buckeyes, ranked number 6, upset the second-ranked Sooners. George Perlis has made his mark in Michigan State. Spartans trailed Notre Dame 7-0 before this pass from Dave Verema to Darrell Turner. 82-yard touchdown pass on Michigan State's second offensive play. Greg Bell of Notre Dame had another big day. He gets loose on a 50-yard TD run. Remember him last week against Purdue, he ran wild. This one put the Irish back on top. It was 21-21 in the fourth quarter when Urema threw to tight end Butch Roll. A great catch in the end zone here. Michigan State stuns Notre Dame. Perlis is now 2-0 as a Spartan head coach. on the scoreboard. Alabama wins big and easily over Ole Miss. California beat San Jose State. Georgia trailed 16-6 and came on to tie Clemson. First time Colorado and Colorado State have played in 25 years. State may wait another 25. Dartmouth beat Princeton. South Carolina over Duke by 7. Furman beat Georgia Tech by 3. Harvard no trouble with Columbia. Kansas easily over Wichita State. Kansas State the same over TCU. Kentucky is now 3-0 after beating Indiana. North Carolina's 8th ranked. They didn't hurt themselves today. There's Michigan State's upset of Notre Dame, 28-23. Ohio State 24, Oklahoma 14. Florida State was number 9 before today. That will change after the loss to Tulane. Washington scored with 34 seconds left, got the 2-point conversion to beat Michigan. Arizona, a lot of talents this year. They beat Washington State 45-6. Wyoming 14, Air Force 7. Brown over Yale 26-24. Arkansas shut out New Mexico. Texas 20, Auburn 7. Oklahoma State over Cincinnati. Florida from the SEC beats Indiana State by 4. Houston easily over Lamar. Illinois beats Stanford 17-7. Wisconsin by 1 over Missouri. Louisville downs Army 31-7. Virginia Tech beat Memphis State 17-10. Locally, or rather Miami of Florida over Purdue 35-0. Nebraska, no, that's not a misprint. They scored 84 points, 84-13. Mississippi State beat Navy. North Carolina State and USC also won today. Penn and LSU chalk up victories. Boston College beat Rutgers 42-22. Syracuse shut out Northwestern. Vandy over Iowa State, and Arizona State tied UCLA 26-all. Wake Forest shut out North Carolina. Locally, Allegheny and Bethany both won. Mansfield and CMU chalk up victories, as do Clarion and Duquesne, and the Dukes very easily. Geneva shut out Frostburg State. Hillsdale beat IUP. Mercyhurst and Slippery Rock were victors today. Westminster and Waynesburg also winners. West Virginia Tech and West Liberty played to a tie. Exhibition hockey, the Red Wings 6 and the Pens 4. Not a great way to start, I guess.
I guess not.
Okay.
Thanks, Randy. And next on News Center's Late Report, Lionel Richie's World Tour stops in Pittsburgh for the evening.
Pizza Hut pizza to go. It's our pan pizza to go with the scariest show. Pizza Hut pizza to go.
Don't go too fast, but don't go too slow.
Hello, I'm Pat Gemiter with a salute to Margaret Jones, McKees Rocks Terrace. She's the activities director for the Terrace Tenants Association. There's not much for kids to do in McKees Rocks Terrace. So last June, Miss Margie started a drill team for girls 7 through 15, and they're looking good. WPXI salutes Margaret Jones and her pom-pom and baton team. We hope to see them in our next WPXI parade.
Come on along for a trip with the world's most lovable cabbies.
I'm gonna make him squeal like an eel and squirm like a worm.
They're ready to take you on a ride to where the laugh meter doesn't stop running.
How much pleasure can one man endure?
And they'll drive straight to your hearts.
This is just like embodying.
Or your funny bone, because Taxi's back and...
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Premieres Monday, September 19th at 5.
Each year, Icecapades continues to introduce new concepts, new designs to challenge your imagination. See the excitement unfold in this year's newest creation, Dream World. Icecapades. The fantasy plays on.
9 Icecapade performances September 20th through the 25th. Civic Arena. Tickets at choice seat locations, Conference, Record Outlet, Arena, Gate 1.
Grammy Award winner Lionel Richie is performing at the Civic Arena. This is the second stop on Richie's world tour, his first as a solo artist. For a dozen years, Lionel Richie was part of the Commodores, one of the nation's most popular performing groups, and now on his own, his career continues to soar. At a news conference this afternoon, he talked about coming back to Pittsburgh, and he said he wants to get involved in motion pictures and take some time to improve his tennis game. And that's News Center 11's Late Report. Join us tomorrow at 6 for all the latest news from here and around the world. Saturday Night Live is up next. Good night.
watching NBC, where the viewing is first class.
But in his opinion, the two funds were perfectly legal. He'll also state that the money that went into those funds was acquired by his staff and himself while working on their own time, and therefore, he says, money that was not subject to the Comptroller's audit. Stu Emery, Channel 4 Action News.
Former State Senator Tom Nolan of Wilkins Township is being paid $1,250 by the Senate to act as a consultant to study the problems of aging in Pennsylvania. Ironically, very few lawmakers knew of the contract, including the man who succeeded Nolan as chairman of the Committee on Aging and Youth. But the Senate's President, Martin Murray, defended the contract, saying the expenditure will be fully justified.
Welfare Secretary Helen O'Bannon urged the legislature today to act quickly to provide funds to make up a $31 million spending deficit for the Welfare Department and other departments of state government. She warned that if the money is not appropriated by March 6, Welfare Department workers will face payless paydays.
The judge who presided at the bribery trial of Congressman Daniel Flood says there is evidence, clear evidence, of jury tampering. Flood's trial ended on February 3rd in a mistrial when one juror held out for acquittal. That lone holdout also told his fellow jurors that he had outside information about the case, information known only to a prosecution witness. Flood will be retried in April.
Wall Street was a little nervous today. Soaring oil prices are quoted as the major factor, along with President Carter's suggestion for rationing. One broker compared the situation with the oil embargo of 1974. The Dow Jones Industrials were down 1412 to close at 807 even. The losers outnumbered the gainers by 10 to 1. The New York Stock Exchange Index showed a loss of 50 cents an average share. The volume today was 31,470,000 shares. Well, it's Eastern 8 tournament time for the Panthers, the Dukes, and the Mountaineers. And Bill Hillgrove has the story. Next on Action News.
I grew up on a farm. That's where I learned to make my delicious crabapple jelly. I learned another secret on the farm. Add grain to coffee for rich coffee taste without bitterness. Now Melrose found that secret. They start with 3 kinds of rich, robust coffees, then blend in roasted grain to take away the bitter edge for a delicious, full-flavored coffee taste. Just like back on the farm.
Mellow Roast coffee and grain beverage. Great coffee taste without bitterness.
What's happening, Pittsburgh? Channel 4 can show you your town. And AM Pittsburgh will be glad to have you around.
Special show this Friday on AM Pittsburgh. History of rock and roll, a film version of American Pie, nostalgic look at the 50s, and live rock and roll stars. Friday on AM Pittsburgh.
In sports, Myron Cope has a commentary on Pitt's Terry Knight and lots of Eastern 8 activities tonight, Doctor.
Yes, it's rug cutting time.
I like the way you say that, big guy.
Hey, listen, where did that come from anyhow, rug cutting time?
Just that.
Oh, really? You mean I coined a phrase. Thank you very much. Plenty of tickets remain for tonight's Pitt-George Washington game at the Pitt Fieldhouse. The Panthers will be trying to avenge an 11-point loss at GW early in January when the Colonials outmuscled and outscored the Panthers.
I would really like to see what we can really do against them, Bill. I thought the first game that we played, I think a lot was taken away from it from the type of physical game that it was. There were a lot of fouls called, and with about a minute to go, the fight erupted, and we were only 4 points down. So I'm really looking forward to it because I want to see what we can really do against GW in a situation like we're in tonight.
Sampson played exceedingly well against Pitt. Has he played any games like that since then?
Well, I really feel that he came into his own during that time period, Bill, and he's been playing well since that time. I don't think he had 35 points and 17 rebounds against us. I don't think he accomplished that again, but he's been up there with about 15 rebounds, and he's been getting his 20 points, and he's just a very good basketball player. He's the kind of guy that comes out and works very hard and just does his job, and he fits in well with their front line of Glenn and Zagardo.
Pitt's got its own pretty good front line. Sam Clancy, Sammy Ellis, and an unsung hero by the name of Terry Knight.
Yeah, Terry Knight has really come along, Bill. I think you'll agree, as the Pitt broadcaster, right?
Absolutely.
Terry Knight, 4 years ago, signed with Pitt, of course, and at that time, a few major colleges had been interested in him. The Bird Dog said, Terry Knight, he's Billy's brother, that's all. Billy, of course, was the Pitt All-American who went on to become a big star in the pros. Anyhow, this season, it's Terry Knight Sr. senior season, and he's blossomed remarkably. He's got a 15.2 scoring average. He's shooting 49% from the field. He's Pitt's best outside shooter, and actually the pro scouts are starting to come around for a look. Tim Gergerich says Terry Knight has been his most improved player at Pitt in his tenure as head coach at Pitt. Terry plays forward. He almost sure he would have to make it in the pros as a guard, but there's going to be a new wrinkle in tonight's game because Gergerich is planning to move him to center after the opening jump. Meantime, you can say that Terry Knight has come a long, long way from the time when the Bird Dog said, he's Billy's brother, that's all. This is Myron Cope on Sports.
Thank you, Myron. The Duquesne-West Virginia rematch will draw the most attention in the league tonight due to the presence of B.B. Flannery in the Duquesne lineup. The junior co-captain was not in Morgantown when the Mountaineers bombed Duquesne 3 weeks ago. Coach Mike Rice is hoping the Dukes can keep their thoughts on their #1 priority, the NCAA playoffs. Indiana State is back on top of both college basketball polls this week. The 26-0 Sycamores received a wide margin from the UPI Board of Coaches, but a slim first-place rating from the AEP Media Poll. Notre Dame and UCLA were second and third on both polls. Although the Pens have slipped to third place because of the LA Kings' victory over Vancouver last night, they'll have a chance to regain the second spot if they can defeat Colorado at the arena tomorrow night. Penguin defenseman Randy Carlyle is on a scoring binge with 2 goals and 10 assists in the last 9 games. Carlyle says it's a matter of getting the shots.
Well, I think I got lucky more than anything else. I've had a lot of shots lately in, say, the last 3 or 4 games. One game I had 7 and 6, and I think the other night I had 9. So once you keep shooting the puck, well, something's got to break for you, and I think it's just basically just a law of averages works out that way.
When you work in practice like you did today, what do you personally work on?
Well, I found it tough sledding today. I don't know, some days you have it, some days you don't. You just go out there, and it's tough getting warmed up in this rink. It's colder here than, say, the Civic Arena, so you have to do more. You have to work a little harder at getting warmed up, but once you get warmed up, things start to come together. And what I try to do is try to pick the corners shooting the puck and try to make the right play all the time. You don't want to get any bad habits in practice, because then you get bad habits in the game, and it can cost you.
The weather cleared up at Bradenton today, so the Buccos had their best and most complete workout of spring training so far. Each of the Pirate pitchers tossed batting practice for 10 minutes. The rest of the squad is due to report on Thursday, and hurrah for Johnny Bench. He says that journeyman players in baseball make too much money, and he says that Pete Rose would not deserve $800,000 a year with the Reds. He doesn't know about the Phils.
Okay.
He doesn't like the salary structure in baseball.
Maybe because he's not getting it.
Well, he's getting a pretty good buck.
Yeah, he's not starving.
Not as well as you're doing.
No food stamps for Johnny Bench. Okay, big guy, thank you. Nan Chapman is calling for clearing skies, and she has the forecast next on Action News.